You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live.
Hello and welcome back to the Claret and Blue podcast. We're back with another rambly, waffly episode after we've had a few little professional interviews over the last few weeks, and I feel a little bit rusty. I don't know about you two. All my microphone equipment is covered in dust as well, which is quite disgusting. It shows that we've not done one of these for a while, and I feel a little bit rusty.
Yeah, I feel like I need to moisturise my head as well. And I did one of these yesterday, but I still feel like my head needs moisturising.
You look like a top of a lipsil then.
You're not rubbing my head across your lips, James. We can all have our own fantasies, but
Oh, get that on Twitter. That's the thing. When we do these professional sit-down interviews, I don't get any content from our new lovely Twitter account. I need some random Matt Kendrick in my
I'll
life.
tell you something. Get Barry Bannon back.
So, what we're back with today is our brand new concept that we did a few weeks ago, the World Cup of. Last time we did the World Cup of worst Aston Villa players. Today we're doing something more positive. We've got the World Cup of best Aston Villa kits. We've got 4 groups of 5 kits, 10 home and 10 away. And obviously there's been a lot of kits throughout Villa history, and we've tried to narrow it down to 10 of the most popular home and 10 of the most popular away. From suggestions we've seen on Twitter and stuff, and some of our own favourites. So there's going to be some kits on this list that we've not included because we wanted to keep the original format that we started with, because I'm too lazy to make extra graphics. So are we ready to kind of kick off the proceedings? I feel like I need to get like a suit on or something to do the draw. But
What are you wearing, just out of interest? I sound like I'm going to start heavy breathing down the phone. What are you wearing, Dan?
I'm wearing the 2010 Acorns home shirt with the embroidery of the cup final date and opposition, is it?
Oh, let's just say, mate, I'm hungry actually. Let's just say that wins it. I like that one, yeah. Crack on.
Yeah, I do like it. It is one of my favourites, but it's not on the list. Shall we ask you what you're wearing, Max? I know you're dying to tell us.
Yes, I'm wearing a gimp mask and a bra and panties. Can I just say here, if you are listening to this on the audio podcast version, we do have a YouTube channel. Okay, just in case that might help you visualise a little bit better. So,
yeah, maybe I'll put that at the start of the episode, so the people who have listened for the last 20 minutes don't waste their time. Group A, I'm going to read them all out first. Number 1, the Luke Roper shirt from the 2018 season. We've got the 1994 home shirt, the Muller one. The 99-2000 home kit from the FA Cup final, the stripy LDV Vans one. The 1957 home kit from when we won the FA Cup for the last time. And the 1993 Mitre drawstrings that, Matt, you're conveniently wearing for the people that are watching.
It's a strong group, that, isn't it?
It is a very strong group, actually. Like, we've done it kind of semi-random like last time, but I am looking at that now thinking I'm not sure which one of these is going to go through. Let's discuss the Luke Roper shirt then. For me, I'm looking at that list and thinking that is probably the one that I would, if it was up to me, I'd just put it straight through to the final.
Can we? I mean, I think it's important before we crack on with this to talk about criteria, really, because I think these different things, isn't there? It could be sentimental because it's your first shirt. It could be aesthetically beautiful because the design just kind of hides your love handles and makes you look good. It could be something that's associated with a great era or a favourite player and stuff like that. A trophy win, yeah, crikey, yeah. We're going back through the through my cardboard box in my loft to find trophy wins. But so I think it's that kind of thing, isn't it? You know, if we're looking for the ultimate Aston Villa top, then all of those factors are going to come into it for me. So on the subject of the first one that we've said, the Luke Roper, Villa won something, didn't they? You know, it ended up being a cracking season. I mean, it's obviously fresh in the memory as well, but I do think it is a special shirt. I don't know what your views are on it, James.
Yeah, it's a great shirt, and I think at the time when it first come out, I was looking at it thinking, right, that's a return to a proper Claret. But since I've joined and started writing about Aston Villa a lot and using a lot of photos of that shirt in different environments, there are times when it looks really purple. So I think it loses a bit of marks for not being like the correct Claret at all times for me. If I'm gonna be you have to nitpick, I guess. But to be honest, there are a few better Villa shirts than that as well.
Do you remember when it was announced that we were going to Luke, and everyone was like, "Ooh, that's going to be horrible. That's going to look chavvy, blah, 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 blah." And it's just like, well, can we at least wait and see the design before we start slating it? And now everyone looks back on it as being one of the best Villa kits of the last 10, 15, 20 years, and if not, in some minds, people would just say it's one of the best of all time. So
I think it ticks the boxes, doesn't it? Because it is very easy on the eye. It's got a little bit of a nod to nostalgia from similar kit in the early to mid '80s, and it Villa won something, didn't they? They won a trophy in it, albeit one restoring Villa to their rightful place in the Premier League, and it's associated with some good personalities and good players. Jack Grealish looked good in it. Tammy Abraham looked good in it. Tyrone Mings looked good in it. John McGinn looked good in it. So it just kind of it almost represents the whole package, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think what I will say about the Claret actually is I've been looking at this historical thing, kits thing, and I think they've used the wrong colour because it's purple in this. So I've been judging it against all the other Clarets, and I've used the wrong Clarets in a lot of kits. So I think I've been thrown there.
James, while you've got historical kits up, look back to 1874 to 1878. I mean, that's the one that I think that Villa should be wearing. It's like Frankie Dettori's pajamas. I don't know whether we can get a picture of that we can share on the screen, Dan. But I mean, why aren't we wearing kits like that anymore? Got a little nightcap.
Some of those early kits are bizarre, aren't they? The second up then is the 1994 home shirt. So again, another trophy win. The Muller shirt. I can't remember who the sponsor was. Is it Asics?
It's a classic, but
it is a classic. But
it's not very nice to look at, is it? Really?
No, I agree. I don't think it's a classic for
brilliant.
reasons that we won a shirt, but it's not one of my favourites at all.
It does conjure up very happy memories from winning the cup back in those days. I don't know. I like it. I like it. Let me return to it. I am a fan of it.
1999, 2000 LDV Vans, thick claret and blue stripes.
I have that with me, so I'm going to show that to the camera.
Okay, nice.
As we speak, I
look like I've quite popular.
Signed. I look like John Gregory's just signed me. Oh, I'm driven by nostalgia again. Though I can imagine Paul Merson and Carboni and Dion Dublin. Oh.
I don't like how everything's central in that middle claret stripe as well. The crest and the kit maker, is it kit provider? It's all just bunched into the middle. I like it when it's on a left and the right kind of.
That kit would look a right mess if it wasn't. Like, it would look bad. It would look all out of sort. If you had kind of the sponsors kind of not aligned in that stripe, it just like it looked like someone's just smashed it together.
And it looks like you've kind of asked your mum to get you some claret and blue pyjamas, and she's found a claret shirt and a blue shirt and kind of just sewed them together and said, "Here you go, happy Christmas." It just, I don't know, something about it looks really cheap.
I think you're right. It's not the prettiest of shirts. I think what rescues it, or what prompts it forward in my mind, is the fact that we got a great team back then. We saw some really, really brilliant players wearing that. But go on. So that's 3 of the 5. What else have we got in this group?
We've got the home kit from 1957, so the last time that we won the FA Cup, but we didn't win the final in that shirt.
But it is a nice shirt, and I think it's one of the only ones that has the actual Villa badge, like that the proper one. It's almost a sense of pride that they've had to kind of make a fashion technique just to get the badge on there, which is that like black patch. But that is like just a Villa kit, isn't it?
It's a very classic old school football shirt, isn't it? Obviously, it's 60 something years. I don't know, my maths is terrible.
Is it the first time they've really introduced a badge onto the kit?
I would be inclined to put it forward for that reason alone.
I don't know. I think knowing what's coming up and that the 57 away kit is in there, that we actually won the trophy in, I think maybe we'll put that through instead in about 20 minutes' time. What's the fifth
choice in this group?
The 5th is the shirt that you're wearing now, the Mitre copiers with the drawstrings. Got to go
through, isn't it? Look how beautiful I look.
It is a nice shirt, and the drawstrings is very unique, and that's what I like about it. No trophy in that time or anything, but obviously the beginning of the Premier League era. I don't know. It's difficult. I think
what I would say is the Villa badge on it is quite terrible. It's like a badge within a badge, and it's not like the 57 one where they've had to do that. It's like you didn't have to do this.
I mean, the big thick kind of claret armbands and the big blue shape around the collar look pretty rubbish. Now I'm looking at it on this picture that I've got.
Do you have to diss what I'm wearing? Don't come on and slag off your gear, do I?
For me, Luke Roper goes through to try and round up this group finally. Luke Roper goes through, and it's a toss-up between the 94 home and the 93 home. And I think I would just be inclined to go 94 just because there's a trophy involved.
Nah. Just give for this one because I'm wearing it, and because I admit that the badge is quite horrific, but when you're of a certain age and you've got a moob, you want a badge that can cover the whole of that moob, and this badge brings out it really accentuates my moob. If that's not a good enough reason, then again the 57 one, it's so like
but we've got 57 away, Matt, in a few minutes time.
Okay. Let me have this one. Let me have the drawstring one, please.
What do you think, James? You can be the deciding vote. So I think 94.
No, I think so. Luke Roper, you've got like a unique feature on that in that rubberized badge. 94 is a bit plain. 90, the 2000 FA Cup. I was about to say World Cup final. FA Cup final one. It's a bit different, and I like that. 57 home kit is a bit weighed down because we got the away one, which is a bit more famous. I'm going to go with the drawstring one because it is unique. Yeah.
Yes.
Boo. Okay, fine. I do like it. It's just, I think there's going to be a lot of people upset that 94 trophy winning shirt doesn't even get out of the group stages.
I think if you think about the World Cup, the drawstring one can compete against others. The 94 one might get through this one, but it's probably going out straight away in the knockouts.
See, I reckon the drawstring was probably looking at that and looking up at Luke Roper and the 94 home, thinking, I don't think I've got a chance here, but he's made it through to the knockout, so fair play to him. So Luke Roper goes through and 93 go through, and we'll come back to those later. Group B of home kits, another 5. I'll read them all out first. We've got the 2008 Acorns, which is very similar to the one I'm wearing, but it's got a V-neck instead of a circle neck. We've got the home shirt from 1981, 1982. 89-90, which is a Hummel shirt, which is the picture in front of me. It's a yellow Hummel, mitre copiers, round badge, and a V-neck, and the kind of 2 Claret like chevron arrows on the side. We've got the 1977 home shirt when we won the League Cup, and we've got the 1996 home kit with the League Cup win as well, under Brian Little. 2008 will go first. I haven't got it with me, but I've got like I said, I'm wearing one that's very similar. It's the first year that we had Acorns. It's a Nike shirt, and it's got a V-neck, and it's a classic. It's one of the shirts that I remember from going as a kid for the first couple of years.
See, the Acorns one gets brownie points because it's the only time in how many years where the sponsor's not been a betting one or something to do with finance or banking. But the design is kind of like when I was a kid and I wore that shirt, I really liked it. But looking back, there's not much about it that stands out apart from Acorns.
I think the 2010 one, again, the one I'm wearing, is an upgrade of that one. It's got like the little white line around the arm, the sleeves as well, and it's a round neck instead of a V-neck. I think the 2008 was like a good kind of template, and they made it better in 2010.
The gesture of having Acorns emblazoned across the fronts of our shirts for the first time ever was massively significant for me. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there'd been another Premier League club or an English club who would given over the, such a profitable kind of marketing stream by doing that out of the goodness of the heart to promote such an important local cause. So again, I suppose that doesn't make it easy on the eye, it doesn't make it beautiful, but it makes it beautiful for me in the sense that Villa were community spirited enough and charitable enough to do that. So it holds special resonance for that reason.
1982, 1981, 1982. Oh, it's a classic, isn't it, that? The Coq Sportif on the sleeves, round badge in the middle.
So you got the problem you had with your Acorns one is that there's an upgrade and it is in the same group, and that's the 89 to 90 home, which I think is a better version of that.
No, yeah, maybe. Yeah, but that's that year though, isn't it?
It is, but you do have the away one, which is potentially a little more famous.
Yeah, fair.
I was privileged enough to see Sid Cowans play in that 1989-1991. I'd have given anything to see him play in that 1981-82 one instead. So I think if we have got two similar ones,
say no more.
And I do like the old chevrons down the 89-91, but I'd say that for reasons of nostalgia and sentimentality and the fact that we actually did conquer Europe in that year, I think 81-82's got to certainly edge that one for me.
But like James says, maybe the 82 away shirt gets in instead. a bit like the 57 kit dilemma.
We're not Sepp Blatter, mate. We're not rigging these. It will just go through how it goes through.
Out of these two, I put the Acorns one through because the gesture's so it's
really?
a massive gesture.
Yeah, yes. But let's not forget we've got 77, which we won the League Cup, and 96 when we won. There's two there that have won trophies. Do they not go through instead?
The 77 one isn't that good though.
I do like a collar, to be fair. I do like a nice collar on a shirt, which a lot of these don't have. I think something nice, quite slick about a collar.
I'm really split between 96 and 82 and 2008 and 82.
See, I think my gut reaction is that I will save 82 for the away shirt as my choice, and I would go for 96 home kit. I think I would go with the Acorns one as well, just because for what it means, and that's my era growing up as a Villa fan. That's the kind of shirt we wore, Nike and Acorns.
What are we saying then? We're saying Acorns and 96. Go on, go with it. On the proviso that we'll rig it properly and the European Cup away shirt will win. Are we going on to aways now, yeah?
Yeah, should we do aways?
I've just got to update my historical kits.
Okay, yeah, do that first. Yeah, it's a good idea, actually. I'll do the same. Okay, so Group D is the one that we've all been teasing, the 1982 away shirt. We've got the 1957 FA Cup final shirt. We've got the 2014-15 white Claret shirt. 88-89 Hummel away, which is the one that's kind of half of it is white and half of it is sky blue with pinstripes. And we've also cheated a bit and stuck a third kit in there with the Luke Roper one from last season, the kind of purple number.
Go on then, Dan, you kick us off.
Straight away, 1982 has to go through, just by default. It's the greatest moment in Villa history. The Luke third kit is nice, but it's a third kit and we're doing home versus away. So I feel like
I've got that.
I feel like we're cheating a bit to even put that in.
I'm just showing it to the camera. It is my son's, in case people thinking I've been dieting during lockdown. That is my son's. We're saying the Luke Roper's not going through. What other options have we got? So
we've got the 2014-15 white one, which I've got in front of me, which I like it. It's one of my... It's similar to the one from Luke Roper, that it's white with Claret on it, Claret sponsor, etc. It's got throwbacks, hasn't it, to the white shirts of old. Doesn't get through, but one of my favourites from recent years, which is why I've included it. So that narrows it down to either the 1957 Cup final shirt or the 88-89 Hummel away shirt.
That Hummel one should be going through, really. It's a really nice shirt.
It is very nice. I haven't got it with me. They did the retro remake of it, didn't they? Villa have started selling it recently, and it is very, very nice. But, I don't know, man.
Do you know what I love about the 57 one, though? I love the fact that you think, for our change colours, we're going to have our proper colours.
Yeah.
I just think, it's brilliant. Why do we need to... You really want us to play in something other than Claret and Blue? We don't need to. We've nailed it. Claret and Blue, yeah. We've nailed it. Most of their FA Cup wins were playing in black and white or sepia colours because it's so long ago. I mean, 1957 is so long ago. I think, again, it's a nice looking shirt and it carries massive significance now.
Yeah.
I'm really torn between this one and the, what we're saying,
89
shirt, because that's a very nice shirt as well. That conjures up David Platt wearing that to me, and you know from previous podcasts my thoughts on David Platt.
It's hard for me to not look at that group and think that the last time you won the FA Cup, the first time you ever got the Villa badge on there, and the 1982 European Cup final shirt, surely those two have to go through just by default more so than anything.
Is James going to sulk though? Will James sulk if we don't?
Well, if he does, he won't come on the podcast ever again, will
he? In all honesty, you do have to send the 82 and 57 through, because not only are they successful shirts, they're actually really good ones. They have their own little unique thing, whereas the 57 away looked like a home, and the 82, I think is it the only time we've had Le Coq Sportif as a shirt manufacturer? So it kind of stands out for that as well.
I think we had them for a couple of years. I think that 84 home shirt, that the Luke Roper one from last year, was kind of semi-based on, with like the two parts of body Claret. I think that was Le Coq Sportif as well. I think we had them for a couple of years.
So we're gonna go with those two then. We've bullied James into it, yeah?
Basically, yes. I do really like that Hummel away shirt, and the third kit from last year is nice as well, but it's a third kit, so that doesn't count. So I think you have to go with two of the biggest moments in Villa history, that the last time we won the FA Cup and the 1982 European Cup final that they have to go through. Group E, I think this is probably the weakest group, but looking at it, there was a few nice shirts in there, but there's probably less kind of memories associated with these ones. We've got the 1994 green Muller shirt. Has anyone got that with them?
The Muller's fallen off it. I'll parade it in front of the camera if you can see that.
So we'll come back to that in a sec. We've got the 2010 League Cup final, which I have here. I had it just over a year ago, and I wore it a few times, and it's got Gabby on the back. Wore it a couple of times, and within the first couple of weeks, it went in the wash. Did it as usual, inside out, and a low temperature, and all the rest of it. Came out the wash, and the acorns on the front had fallen off. But on the back, the Igbonlahor has started to peel away as well. All the letters have gone all like patchy. So I really, really like this shirt, and obviously it's the away of the one I'm wearing now. We wore it in the 2010 Cup final, which obviously we didn't win, but I just think of Milner in it, and was Petrov there then? I mean, so many great players wearing this shirt, and just something about the kind of like little subtle blue pinstripes.
So now it's the Black FX Pro.
Black FX Pro, which is a nice shirt, but again, nothing kind of really associates with it. Just a nice design. Probably an underrated one from years gone by. Good old Barry Bannon. We've got the Mitre yellow third shirt, which again, I always assumed it was an away, but it's a third shirt. So again, I don't feel like that really counts, but it is unique, and there is a bit about it I like. And finally, is the kind of electric blue away shirt from 2008, which I have got with me. Tell me your thoughts. Let's talk about this green Muller then. Let's get the elephant out of the room, because I will say straight away, I absolutely hate that shirt.
I think it doesn't matter if you hate it. What really matters, Dan, is that for some reason Asics put together how many colours that don't work. The Claret and blue badge and Muller on top, and it doesn't really work. It does work. It works
disgusting.
Really well. I wouldn't call it disgusting. I think it is genuinely, out of the list we have there, that is the iconic shirt out of that entire list.
I think it's the equivalent of probably a bit before your time, this, but it's like kind of Damien Hirst putting a cow in formaldehyde, or Tracy Emin leaving a smart installation of a bed with needles and used condoms next to it. I think it's that kind of Villa kind of shirt, really. It is art, because it just got people talking. You know, if somebody said to you, name me 5 Villa away shirts off the top of your head, you'd name that one because it stuck with you. Whether it stuck with you for the right reasons, I don't know. But I think it's iconic. It's a bit like that kind of horrible kind of Coventry City brown one from years gone by, and you know, the kind of the blue shirt that's got all the kind of the speckles of paint all over it, or there's a Wolves shirt that got looked like tyre tracks all over it. It kind of, you remember it, don't you?
I'd argue that it should be a potential finalist because of the reaction it has.
Oh my god, a finalist? Are you mad? I'd be okay with it getting out of the group stage.
Why would you put any kit in here that couldn't be a finalist?
Because obviously it's not all just about my own opinion. There's 3 of us here for a start, and I know that kit is popular amongst a lot of Villa fans, so it has to get into this list. But my personal point of view, I can stomach it getting out of the groups, but if that's in the final of the best Villa away shirt ever, I'm not having that.
Put it through. Out
of this group, that one's automatically going through. There is absolutely, because it's such an important shirt, like, for so many reasons.
Stick it through.
I'll let you have it go through. So what about the rest of them then? Because I think Black FX Pro, I like it, but I don't think it goes through over the others. So you can rule that out.
Wait. That Black FX Pro, I made my Villa Park debut wearing that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did that go?
I think we won.
You didn't get a full-time contract then, did you? You didn't sign with them.
I didn't. I mean, there's lots of pictures of me holding up shirts.
Wow.
But I think we beat Turkish Airlines 2-1. I think at Villa Park. So I'm fond of it for that reason. I probably have got a photograph of me wearing it that I can dig out and share to you.
If you put the green one through, the FX Pro one's good, but it would be between the yellow shirt and the League Cup final one from there.
See, I think that with the yellow shirt, it's a third shirt. So again, I feel like we've cheated a bit, and that shouldn't really be in a list if we're doing it as best home versus best away. But we were struggling to find any nice away list, so that's why it went in.
Like, it's best altogether.
No, it's just, I do like the big, massive round badge, like print across the whole of the stomach. But the thing is, I don't really like yellow away kits for Villa either. Like, I know yellow is a Villa colour, but I don't know, there's something about the yellow ones, I've never liked any of them.
I think the thing that does it for me, I don't think it should go through, if I'm being honest, but I do think it's a really nice kit just because the way that the crest is kind of subtly put on the front of it, and the fact that it was just so novel, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Villa did wear a yellow kit in 85, 87, according to our friends at historicalkits.com. But
yes, I know the one you mean, yeah. The Henson
I think they might have only worn that yellow kit of 91, 93 once, and I think, if memory serves me correctly, they wore it once and lost in it. So it doesn't have particularly positive connotations in terms of being a kit that that Villa have done anything in.
So that Nike one, it's the away one of the first year we had Acorns. It reminds me of people like Martin Larson and Ashley Young and people like that. John Carew, all those great players from my memories as growing up as a Villa fan. So I like it for that reason. I like the blue as it being a little bit unique as well. But I've just got massive fond memories of that 2010 League Cup final one as well. So it's a toss-up between those two for me, and I'd be happy with either of those, to be honest. So I'll let you two offer your verdict on those.
I think the 2008-9 one, that's got happy memories, because I remember Villa actually did a proper kind of catwalk style kit launch for that down at Brindley Place. You probably see Martin Lowson. I keep varying between Lowson and Larson.
Oh yeah, it is Lowson, isn't it? Yeah,
Martin Lowson. I think Rio Coker was down there that afternoon as well.
Yeah, Carew, I think, as well, and Ashley Young.
It was, but I would probably lean more towards the 2009-10 for the reason that we played at Wembley twice in it that year. Yeah. We didn't know it at the time, but it was the final year of what was probably the best Aston Villa reign we've had for a generation under Martin O'Neill. There were some great players in it. We've got Milner, we've got Ashley Young playing in it, Downing as well. We've got some, really, really good players for Villa back then. So I'd probably edge that one through for that reason, if I'm being honest.
I like that. Yeah, I'm happy for that to go through because it is one of my favourites. And I think it probably satisfies your quench for the 88-89 away Muller shirt, James. It's got a little bit of a hint of the split body.
It's a poor impersonation, but I think we'll take it.
Okay, so we've got to the quarterfinal stage at last. We've got 8 kits gone through. We've got 4 home and 4 away. We obviously had a winner and a runner-up for each one. So we're going to pit the winner of the home against the runner-up of the away and vice versa until we get 4 quarterfinals of a home versus away. And then we'll get a home and away semi-final and a home and away final. So let's just quickly work out who plays who here, because it's very confusing all of a sudden out of nowhere.
6.5 hours later.
The Luke Roper home shirt plays 1957 FA Cup final away shirt. The Mitre Drawstrings of 1993 play the 1982 European Cup winning shirt. Massive draw. The 2008 Acorns home shirt plays the 1994 Muller away green shirt. And finally, the 1996 home shirt will play the 2010 League Cup final away shirt.
You know, when you hear the FA Cup draw and there's a non-league team of butchers and plumbers and stuff, and they go to their social club up somewhere in kind of Clitheroe or something like that. It's like that. The way I was waiting, then I was kind of poised. I almost went ooh.
Okay, so first quarter final, Luke Roper home versus 1957 away. What's your gut reaction when you hear those names put together?
Can I be perfectly truthful about this?
Yes, hit me.
I kind of feel that we should put 57 through, but then I feel like that we're alienating a massive generation of listeners and readers.
Basically anyone under 70.
Who won't have seen Villa
so everyone
win
listening
anything.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think Luke Roper does go through because it is, by all accounts, just a better shirt. Like, it's a Villa home shirt. There wasn't a level of success equivalent to the 57 away, but it's a big winner. It's a massive winner. The response to, we don't know the response to the 57 away kit, which is unfair. But if it was anywhere near as well received as a Luke Roper home, then it would be probably a valid competition. But the Luke Roper one goes through for me automatically.
Yeah, I'll give you that, because Luke Roper, I got to interview Luke Roper when the shirt came out, and he invited me to his lovely little kind of home stroke workshop near Kimver. And even, he wouldn't show me any of the designs, even though I was a kind of nosy journalist. And even when I invented the fact that I needed to go for a wee, just so I could wander through his workshop and look at people's screens, he was still very polite and still gave me a nice cup of tea. So I think that's much more important than Johnny Dixon lifting a prize we're never ever going to see us win.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That shirt has got that memory of the 57 FA Cup win. It's the last time we won it. The pictures for it are iconic and everything, but that's the thing. We only know pictures of it. There's no real memories for pretty much anybody listening to this, bar maybe 1% of our audience. So the Luke Rope one is a lovely kit. It's got very, very recent memories of it being good. Obviously, it gets us back to the Premier League. It's a lovely design. I think that goes through. I think I prefer that as a shirt to the away one in terms of looks as well. So I put that through as well. So the other quarterfinal is the Mitre drawstrings against the 1982 away. And surely there's only one winner there.
Yeah, it's got to be the 82 away.
Well, I'm getting out of here. It's got to go through, hasn't it? It's got to go through. I mean, if I wasn't so flabby, I'd probably take this drawstring shirt off that I'm wearing and throw it to the floor in a fit of rage. But nobody.
Seeing as we fixed that the 1982 home didn't even get out of the groups, 1982 away has to at least get through to the next round of the knockouts.
I think so. Yeah, being as we're doing this completely fairly and earnest.
Yeah, that's an easy one, straight through. So we've got our first semi-finalist. Jesus, third quarterfinal, 2008 Acorns, which I don't have with me, but the one I'm wearing is close enough, and the Muller green away shirt. This is a little bit more difficult, especially for me.
It's Muller.
Oh,
yeah,
of course it is.
And
really?
that's
Muller.
This isn't us trying to force it through.
Are we really putting Muller this far through?
It is a much more memorable
so.
kit. It is. There's a lot going for the Acorns one, but the reason we put it through was mainly because of Acorns and the memories it gave of that. I think the Muller ones are a bit superior. And it's not like a bad sponsor either. It's not like you're putting Acorns through over, Genting or QuickBooks. It's a yogurt, so it's funny.
Exactly. I think Villa were being very charitable back then, thinking how can we prop up this ailing dairy firm that needs some help. I mean, what a generous gesture that was. Put it through.
Okay.
I'm holding
Fine.
it. I'm holding it proud. It's not even got Muller on. My version's the Muller's fallen off.
Yeah, but you've probably dropped years' worth of yoghurt down it to make up for it, to be fair.
How dare you accuse me of dropping yoghurt?
I've seen you do it at work. You definitely came into the podcast booth at work once and said, "Oh, sorry, I've had to put a jumper on because I've just spilled yoghurt down myself." So don't even lie. Final quarterfinal is the 1996 home shirt versus the 2010 League Cup away shirt.
I feel like I'm inclined to go towards the 96 home.
I think it's the last time we won something, isn't it? It's the last time we won a proper trophy.
I do like that white away one though. I think I might put it on as justice for it, so it can make it to the final visually.
Even if you won that League Cup in it, I don't think it would be better than the 96 home one.
See, if only Phil Dowd knew what he'd done now.
I know. Yeah.
We thought he had a big enough. We thought he had a big enough impact on that day, but little did we know that 10 years later it would have a bearing on a much bigger competition.
I know. Okay, we'll go with the home one then. I mean, I'm not disappointed with that. That home shirt is a nice one. It's just I've got personal fond memories of the Muller, the 2010 League Cup one. So I feel a little bit discouraged, but
leave your personal feelings to one side, mate.
World Cup of Dan's Villa memories.
I'm wearing the 2010 League Cup shirt now for justice.
This seems very much like something a petulant child would do.
Basically, yes.
Daniel, we've told you not to play with that toy. Well, I'm going to play with it anyway.
The semi-final stage. Oh, it's a big semi-final. The final is going to be tasty. Luke Roper home shirt 2018-2019 versus the 1982 away shirt European Cup final winning shirt. Now I think the other semi is 1996 home shirt gets its home advantage versus the 1994 Muller green shirt.
Oh my God.
Now my initial reaction is that the Luke Roper versus 1982, that should be the final. The fact that isn't the final means we've worked this out wrong.
Right, let's rewind. Let's go back again. Let's do this again. Can't we just kind of dream up some kind of disciplinary issue that happened in the semi-final that kind of, I don't know, that somebody head-butted somebody or shirt-butted somebody in the other final, and then we've had to kind of redraw it so that Luke Roper plays. We can do that, can't we? It's our podcast.
What is going on? This is just like, it was meant to be a simple idea that has conspired into just treachery and bribery.
So are we saying Luke Roper versus Muller and 1996 home versus 1982? Is that the preferred semi-final? Because we're not going to agree here, are we?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
First semi-final is the 1996 home shirt versus 1982. What are we thinking? What goes through? Got to be 1982, surely, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be the away, just because in terms of classic retro, if you're going on your nostalgia websites to try and like I say, be a bit retro, it's got to be that one. And this comes from somebody who, I've still got my Mark Draper 1996 shirt. I wore it for the cup final against Man City actually, so that probably took a little bit of the edge off it. But it has to be that white away top. It's the most iconic moment, and it's actually very pleasing on the eye as well, I think.
Yeah, agreed. So 1982 gets through to the final, happy days. And the second semi-final, just by chance, is Luke Roper versus the 1994 Muller shirt. Now I feel like you've got to have Luke Roper in the final. Surely.
I think
I don't like the Muller shirt anyway, so that is a very easy semi-final for me.
Against that shirt, Luke Roper goes through, but I think in another universe that Muller would have made the final.
Yeah, maybe an alternative reality, maybe about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
but it's true. Yeah.
Can we just say that the Muller shirt suffered a drugs ban and it failed its doping test for traces of yogurt? Because I do think it's a brilliant shirt, and however hideous it looks, it's kind of, I don't know. I think its reputation precedes it. The fact that it's such a talking point, but in terms of aesthetic beauty, I think the Luke Roper shirt is gonna edge it over it, isn't it?
Yeah, and that just by absolute fluke, and by no means have we rigged it in any way whatsoever, we've somehow got the final we all wanted: Luke Roper home versus 1982 away. I don't know how we've managed to do it, but
I don't want people to look too closely at the way the groups led into the quarterfinals, led into the semi-final stages, because I don't think it would stand up to too much independent panel scrutiny.
Yeah, definitely a bit of match fixing going on in those early rounds. So the final, Luke Roper, the lovely home shirt that we got promoted in last year, versus the most iconic, probably, Villa shirt of all time that we won the biggest trophy in football in, 1982 European Cup final, Bayern Munich. What a final that is. I mean, for a start, I would say that is the best away shirt, and that's my favourite home shirt as well.
I feel like the Luke Roper has a really good chance here to win, but it's coming up against the 1982 shirt, which is just such iconic for all the right reasons.
Is that just a bit of a boring answer though? Just put 1982 through just because of what it means?
It is, but there's a reason it means that.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit for you.
I know, but the Luke Roper on it is strong. It really is strong, but I don't think it puts up a good fight, but I don't think it is big enough or powerful enough to beat the 82 one.
Look, when we started this podcast, 77 weeks ago, when we started this podcast, we said what makes a good shirt, and we said whether it's easy on the eye, whether we've got fond memories of certain players playing in it, whether it was a glory era. I think it ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? The 1982 one, because some of the best players who've ever pulled on the shirt for Aston Villa. We're talking about Gordon Cowans, we're talking about Peter With and Gary Shaw, we're talking about Dennis Mortimer. But there's no bigger prize to win in club football, but to do it looking so good in such an elegant, beautiful kit, I think it's got to be the worthy winner, hasn't it? You got to spare a thought for the kit man back then as well, haven't you? Because the pictures were kind of muddy puddles, and yet they've said, yeah, we're going to have a white kit, white shirt, white socks. Good luck with that. Good luck with you getting that out of the wash with your Daz and your Purcell. Or, I don't know, did they have washing machines back then?
Luckily, there was no sponsors to rub off in the wash, though, so that's one silver lining at least.
I think we've got to a place where, I mean, who won our World Cup of crap players from the last decade in the end, was it?
Julian Lescott.
Versus who in the final? Ross McCormack, was it?
Ross McCormack, I think.
I think we've got to a place where we're actually perfecting how to rig these competitions. We could probably cut out 45 minutes of waffle by just saying, right, here's the winners, crack on with your day. But we wouldn't have found out about how humorous James finds yogurt if we'd have done it that way, would
exactly,
we?
Exactly. No, that was good. That was. I think we've got a good two set of finalists there, and even the semi-finals. There's 4 good shirts there. I mean, to be fair, the entire list of 20 were decent. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in this list, were they? But a worthy winner in 1982, just because it is that iconic shirt. So yeah, happy with that. Thank you very much to everyone who's listened or watched, hopefully watched, because if you just listened, I imagine this was an absolute chore to get through, trying to remember what kits we're actually talking about. Maybe.
Yeah, you know what, Dan? Listening to this would be the equivalent of watching snooker on a black and white telly, wouldn't it?
Yes. Maybe if you are listening to this, hopefully you jumped on historicalkits.co.uk and watched along while we were talking, and so you could remember which one was which. But yeah, hopefully you've watched this on YouTube and be able to see all the pictures and stuff. So thank you very much for tuning in. We said that this best kits thing was coming for about 5 years, so it's glad that we finally got it out of the way, and it was enjoyable actually. It's nice to go back through memory lane and look back at different shirts and reasons why we like and don't like them. So yeah, thanks to both of you. I don't know whether James is still there, but thanks to both of you for nice. Thanks to both of you for giving up some time this afternoon, and we'll be back again with some of our usual nonsense and waffle in the coming days. This is going out after we've just posted the Gabby Bond Hall podcast, so if you haven't seen that yet, and for some reason you've chose to watch this before you've watched an interview with Gabby Bond Hall, go back and watch that as well. That came out earlier this week. So thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back with our usual nonsense soon. Yeah, thank you very much, and up the Villa.
Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please let us know. We love hearing your feedback. We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, up the Villa.